What's going on, world? Your man, Mr. Mech, here with allhiphop.com. I'd like to welcome you to The Mechanism. Welcoming back a longtime friend of the show, longtime friend to the streets, definitely a longtime friend to hip-hop enthusiasts and lyricist lovers everywhere. We have New York's own, I ain't even going to say his name, I'm going to let him finish it.
Smicky!
It's the good brother, Mickey Factz. What's happening with you, man?
I'm good, man. How you, brother?
I'm great. Been a long time for you.
Yes.
I don't know where the hell you been. I know what the hell you been doing.
Yes. I've been rapping.
Well, no, you haven't. No, you have not. Because if you had been rapping, we'd have more music. This is the first project out. The name of the joint, the new joint.
The Achievement Circa 82, produced all by Knots. Y'all could go get that right now on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Circa 82, but the motherfucker came out in 2016.
Yeah, 2016, man.
You have not been like what? Okay, what was the purpose of the layoff? Every artist goes through it for one reason or the other. Why did Mickey Factz step away from the mic for what was it? It was over 5 years, yes?
Nah, I've been putting out music. It's just been more low key and under the radar, servicing more of my fans as opposed to the good folks at different blogs and whatnot. So I did stop rapping for like 4 months at the end of 2013 up until 2014 when I came back and put out 740 Park Avenue. But again, everything was under the radar. So a lot of times, a lot of my friends and a lot of the people that championed me in the beginning were not seeing any of the music.
Like me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but I was still working. I was I think the label thing kind of, threw me off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They didn't really, Jive folded, so I got moved to RCA, and the people over there weren't really kind of on board for what I was trying to do. So I kind of went into a little bit of my own obscurity and doing my own little small projects that just serviced my fans. And I toured with Lupe, I was on the road with him for a while. And, now, we got this album out now, you know what I'm saying? It took a long time, but, Knots took a chance, and I'm grateful to him forever.
Isn't it amazing that, you come up as an artist, you hear the horror stories about labels and getting jerked around and shelved and all that stuff, and yet for everything we know, we can still get caught in that because it can happen to you in spite of your actions. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you did. It doesn't necessarily have to be something you didn't do. It just, for all intents and purposes, some things just happen that are completely out of an artist's control.
Right.
You had no say in Jive Folding.
I had nothing to do with that. Actually, during that time, everybody kind of was in limbo. Like, it wasn't just me. It was Justin Timberlake. It was Chris Brown. Like, everybody just kind of didn't know where they were going. And,
Wasn't the Clips part of that?
I think the Clips were a part of that. And then they separated, like, right afterwards. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't just hip hop. It was pop artists. It was R&B artists. Like, nobody kind of knew where we were going. So at that point, it was just like when I got moved to RCA, because there were artists that did get dropped. Mm-hmm. I had got a new deal with RCA, and those people that were there, they just didn't believe in my product. So it kind of just fell to the wayside. In
retrospect, was there any way to see it coming? Was there anything you could have done to get out of the way of that earlier? Were there any indications that this was about to happen?
There were rumblings that Barry Weiss was leaving, but I was contractually obligated to stay. You know what I'm saying? And if I could do it all over, I probably wouldn't have signed to them, knowing that he was going to leave and go to Def Jam. I would have probably went to Glass Note with Daniel Glass, because Daniel, he wanted to sign me, but he went and signed Childish when I didn't sign with him. Mm-hmm. So for me, I wouldn't have went to Jive because they folded, and it was, I got moved somewhere where the people didn't believe in me. It was a brand new team. They didn't know about the people who did sign me and believed in me. So it was, I understand that's the business. That's how it goes.
So now what? Now, where are we now? What's the situation now?
We rapping. We rapping every day, every single day. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing music every day. I'm consistently working. We got the deluxe album for the Achievement that's gonna be hard copies coming out next year early. Got some great features on there. I got a Royce feature,
Salute,
which is really good. Waiting on a Fayshawn and Stolly record to come in, and something with Pharoah Monch. So
Oh, salute.
yeah, so I'm just gonna try to feed the people with the content constantly and consistently, and I'm just happy a lot of people want to work with me again.
So you've never been a stranger to lyricism. You've always prided yourself on bars, but now we're coming into an era where it looks like the elite dudes, the top tier dudes, are about that. That's kind of what they're resting their heads on, and that's their bread and butter. So is it funny to watch it come back around, and now, one season it wasn't about lyrics, and now all of a sudden it seems to be coming back to that again?
I mean, hip hop is always going through that cycle where lyricism was there, and then it leaves, and then it comes back, and then it leaves, and then it comes back. For me, I see more mumble rap posts than the lyricism stuff. I mean, I'm always happy to see Eminem and Royce go off, or even the Big Seans, and what I'm saying, like, I'm always happy to see that, but it's starting to definitely come about a little bit more. But I'm also still seeing the trap stuff just going viral online, like constantly and consistently, and the mumble rap stuff. So it's beginning to be more of a balance, but radio still hasn't got caught on a little bit more.
Why do you think it's easier? Why do you think the mumble rap, in your opinion, why does that get so many looks? I have my own theories, but
I think a lot of it has to do with the shock value of it. I also believe that the beats are, they're catchier, and the younger the generation gets, the more experimental they get, and they kind of just, kids now in the sharing era, they're just happy that their friends are doing stuff, and it starts to get big, and it shares, and it goes viral, and things like that happen. So there's so many different artists with so many different sounds coming out. And just to break the mold, it's taking a lot. But it seems like these guys have this particular niche market on lock, man. And, I salute them. You know what I'm saying? It's another subgenre of hip-hop, and there's nothing wrong with it as long as there's a balance.
Yeah, you and I disagree. We greatly disagree.
I mean, we've had, artists like this. We've had the Fushnikins. We've had Young MC. You know what I'm saying?
We could understand them. They weren't mumbling.
Oh, we've had. I don't want to.
I'll say, okay. Let me extend an olive branch. I'll say the closest thing we had in the golden era, the closest thing there was in the golden era to mumble rap would have to be Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yes.
Melodic. Couldn't always understand everything they were saying because they would, the melodies would chew the words up a little bit, so you couldn't understand everything. The difference is when it got broken down, Bone
was still there.
Yeah, they were really spitting. They were really going off. It's just you couldn't understand everything at the same time, right, unless you trained your ear for that. When you break these lyrics down.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of them are freestyling, or a lot of it is regurgitated lyricism within their own art form. So I can understand where you're coming from with that.
Do you avoid the conversation so you don't get caught up in the generational thing? I've seen a lot of seasoned artists do that. They don't necessarily want to confront the kids. They don't, hey, let them be kids. Let them do this. Let them do that.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, they're making money. And for me also, like, I remember being a kid and listening to DMX and my mother being furious. Like, why are you barking in the middle of the night? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to listen to it late at night. And she would, like, wake up in the next morning, like, I want to hear this song, Niggas Done Started Something. I want to know what the niggas done started. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I remember those times distinctively. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I kind of understand, like, you know what I'm saying, why they're making it, you know what I'm saying, and why the kids like it. I can't judge them for that. Like, I know what it was like listening as a teenager to DMX and just
the only difference, and the reason why I don't let that argument hold water. While that argument doesn't hold water for me is because our parents weren't listening to hip hop. We were. This is the first this is a generation of children who are growing up with hip hop parents who were there and have seen the evolution and know that, you can't talk to me.
Well, I think my father didn't really care because he grew up in hip hop.
Right.
My mom was more gospel.
Which strikes to my point.
Right. We are hip hop. Like, if I have a child, I'm literally, like, gonna be like, oh, okay, I grew up in hip hop, so this is a different kind of thing. So I now I understand what you're saying in that particular.
When we used to argue with our parents about X, Y, and Z, my mom was getting to me because she was a Marvin Gaye fan. And in her opinion, this just wasn't music.
Right.
What we were doing just really wasn't music. Now, if I argue with my son, and these kids are, you know, I've seen 15, 14, they're old enough to be my kid, and they're doing X, Y, and Z, I can say, well, no, that's not exactly right, because I was there when that happened, and no, this isn't, no, you're not advanced, no, this isn't new, you just never heard it before. No, a lot of people have done this already. You kind of...
Right. I think a lot of it all, I mean, can we blame some of it on the OGs? For not
totally. Absolutely.
teaching?
Completely.
And because, you know, for some of these kids, they don't know. They've been disrespecting Biggie. They've been disrespecting Pac, like saying they overrated. Like that's, you know, even if you feel that way, like to just blatantly do that to someone's legacy who isn't even here to defend themselves is
Right.
like sacrilegious within the hip hop community. Like it's just,
At least it should be.
it should be, and nobody's really. It's like the people that are the gatekeepers are not, or even the people that care that are around them are not letting them know you can't really do or say these type of things. Like if this was the 90s, like they wouldn't be.
Or somebody would have smacked them by now.
Right. I'm surprised, you know. But you do also realize, you know, nobody's saying nothing about Wu-Tang.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it goes back to, you know what I'm saying, they I don't know. I'm very shocked nobody ran down on a lot of these kids for saying the things they've been saying.
Well, let's take it from a different perspective, because you're now you took some time off, you come back, you're now a married man, you
Yes.
have a brand new perspective on life, hip. How much of that is translating out in this new project? How much of that can we hear the maturation of Mickey Factz? How much of that is in a new project?
A lot of it is. I think when I first came out, I was just very, very braggadocious, very egotistical. I think a lot of that came from not having a lot of self-esteem, growing up with glasses and always being doubted. So when I finally was getting the shine online and people were noticing me, it kind of went to my head, and I was actually too happy. And you know, I had a very, very sharp, fast rise and a very hard fall. And you know, the climb back has been even sweeter than the meteoric rise, because now people, they see the maturation. You know what I'm saying? I went and got married. That responsibility on another level in this industry is just super high. And then just from a lyrical standpoint, you know, building with the Lupes, building with the Royces, building with the Pharaohs, you know what I'm saying? My pen has gotten a little bit more refined, and just the different content that I want to talk about. It's not just about the clothes, the misogynist, the type of things